some of you might have read this article. I found it a year or so ago. This guy back in the late 90s, 97, some doctor or philosopher or something, came up with what he thought were these 36 questions that basically you sit across the table from someone on a date or in a room or wherever you are. You ask them these 36 questions, you both answer honestly, and then after you're done with those questions, you stare into each other's eyes for 4 minutes straight, uninterrupted, without saying anything. You got to keep the eye contact going.
Wait a minute. So you work through the questions, and then once all the questions have been asked, that's when you make the eye contact?
Yeah, then you do a 4 minute uninterrupted stream of just...
Is there like a lightning round?
No lightning round. But anyways, what he says is you'll fall in love.
Huh.
And there is a documented case where he did this with two people, and they ended up getting married. But while I was searching for other ones, it said, I did this with my boyfriend, and after we were done, we broke up. So, I don't know. But
yeah, this sounds like horseshit to me.
Well, we're going to find out. Yeah. What we're going to do is, there's 36 questions, so there's a lot. It would take too far to go through all of them. There are a couple of interesting ones. What we're going to do is, after we're done with this show, the actual podcast, we're going to record a episode 24.5, basically. And we're going to ask all these questions. So that'll be in a separate podcast, so it doesn't kill the flow of this show, and so it won't be like however long. An extra probably 30 minutes long or something. I don't know how long it will take. We won't stare into each other's eyes, though.
Much.
Because we're all in committed relationships, and we don't want to destroy
I already love the three of you, so.
Yeah, I already love you guys as it is. I'm already in love with you guys as it is. So, but I also think that by next week, we should all sit down and do this with our significant others.
Why, though? If the purpose of it is to fall in love, I love Samantha already.
But
does Samantha love you?
Probably not.
No.
I'm kind of like a lot to deal with.
Someone else did it. She's already in a relationship. She was saying, hey, I've been with my boyfriend for this long. I could finish, like she gave a little anecdote where she was at a party and he was telling this funny story of this crazy time, that stuff that happened in college, and he got an important phone call. And she's like, don't worry, I can finish the story for you with all the plot twists and your drive home and all that stuff. So he went outside and she finished the story. And they did the whole thing. And they ended up staring at each other for 6.5 minutes.
Fucking overachievers.
And they felt even more in love.
Can I ask you the questions part?
No, you have to do the whole thing. Are you uncomfortable staring at your love?
No, it just seems kind of boring.
Whoa!
You heard it first, Sam.
Nope, that
couch is pretty comfortable.
Yeah. Look, I'm sure Sam would agree with me. I know the girl.
See, well, I think you guys should try it.
No, this is mine now.
I think you guys should try it.
All right, let's do this.
All right, we'll try it just for you, David.
All of you guys should try it.
I'll think about you the entire time.
But anyways, if you want, there's actually a website, 36 Questions in Love, 36 the number of questions in love. I didn't actually go through all of this, but all the questions are on there. Or you could just type into Google.
the design of that page.
Yeah, it was nice. Or you could just type in 36 Questions in Love. Like, they start off really easy, like this. Given the choice of anyone in the world, whom would you want as a dinner guest? Would you like to be famous? In what way? Before making a telephone call, do you ever rehearse what you're going to say? Why? And so forth. Those are the easy ones. There's a couple hard ones like, what, if anything, is too serious to be joked about? Or share a personal problem and ask your partner's advice on how he or she might handle it. Also ask your partner to reflect back to you how you seem to be feeling about the problem you've chosen. Now, like Winston said, some of these questions are like, they're meant to be for a stranger, really.
That'd be a weird fucking question on a first date.
Yeah.
Hey, how do you think I should handle this? Be like, I don't know.
But
I don't know your life.
No, the whole point of it though is like this mutual vulnerability thing makes people connect.
I mean, I totally get that.
No, but you're
breaking down walls.
Yeah, exactly. And I wish I had known about this when I was single. I would have loved that. Isn't there? There's like the dating website that's like, hey, let's do this. Were you telling me about that? Were you telling me about who? Someone was telling me about it. Where
it was a bunch of questions.
Where no, it's like instead of you just put your personal profile up and like, hey, this is me. You suggest a date to go do. So it's called like, let's go or let's do this or whatever. So you're basically just saying, hey, let's go do this as a cool date. And then people are like, yeah, I'd like to do that. And that's how you get to know each other instead of just looking at a boring profile.
I mean, anything that could like cut through small talk.
Yeah.
I'm sure it would be.
Yeah. Listeners, if you have the opportunity, if you're single and you have the opportunity to do this with someone on a first or second or third date, we would love...
Or a random person on the street.
Or that.
Do that.
I'm kind of interested to do that. I don't know. Just
That's
with a random
kind of
person.
way I would like to handle it. Just be like, because like you said, if you did this with Sam, you know you're gonna love Sam. Like, I would
What's
like
up,
to
man?
just pick
You got
some
30 minutes of
random
your
ass
time?
coffee barista and just be like, listen, on your break, sit down with me. Let's do this.
Creeper.
I still think
the
you
true way
guys
to
should all
test.
do it with your significant.
Sure.
I'm going to do it if you guys don't. Well, I'm going to do it anyway.
Look,
I'm gonna read the questions before.
I mean,
we're going to take it, so you're going to know what the questions are.
True. Yeah.
Yeah. So, anyways, I mean, that's really it. Again, we're gonna. I didn't want to spend too much time on this because we're gonna be recording the actual questions for the 0.5 episode. We're gonna release both of those on the same day, Wednesday, like we do every other show. So you will. That might pop up in your feed. That will be explained just in case you download that and just listen to that one first. You're like, what is this?
Mm-hmm.
We'll let you know.
We'll make a recording.
I do have one question. I'm going to ask this now.
Yeah.
Instead of later, because the next one we're going to want to do that pretty quick. Isn't the basis of pretty much any relationship what the two parties find necessarily they're in agreement on? Not like, I like Star Wars. Christian likes Star Wars. Hey,
Let's date.
let's date. Essentially, you know what I mean? So what if all those questions are totally opposite? It's like
Yes and no. I totally agree with what you're saying. Obviously, I think with really important issues,
yeah.
it might be kind of hard. But the example that I said earlier with the girl and her boyfriend, the young woman and her boyfriend, and they did it. She was even saying how many of the questions they actually answered opposite on, and that was okay with them. It's
Yeah,
all,
I'm not saying you have to be completely agree. I mean, Sam and I have our disagreements. Have you listened to her music? Yeesh. But I mean, I don't know. You know what? I'm going to stay skeptical until we do take the questions, and then I'll reevaluate from
Sure.
then on.
Okay.
Yeah.
I do think, though, that I've read different things online of like, oh, good things you should ask someone as you're getting to know them.
Yeah.
And those generally aren't like, where do you fall on this huge political issue? They're like stuff like the dinner one's interesting.
Right.
Because, if I would say blah and someone's like, well, that's interesting. Why do you want that? You find a little bit more about a person, like you said, cuts the small talk.
Yeah.
So I could see how it's a great way to break the ice.
Yeah, and politics is so polarizing. I mean, I guess I
That
could
was
see
just an example.
No,
I mean-
no, I know, but you're absolutely right. Like, I see people starting to talk about that, and some people would be really, like, I guess if you're in DC, that's all there is to talk about. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, like, isn't that one of the things you're not supposed to talk about? Like, in terms of like manners, there's like 3 things you're not supposed to talk about, right? Politics, is religion one,
religion,
Yeah.
and sex.
But this is like,
But it's 2016.
This is
We can
2016,
talk about
y'all.
whatever we want.
So like I'm a firm believer of like I can see how it can be considered rude, but at the same point in time, I think everyone should talk about that, and they should talk about it more often.
I think it's meant like if you're like a dinner, with a family.
Okay, then yeah,
Like a setting like that where it's not just about you and another person. It's like a whole
right.
or probably in like a
thing.
formal setting.
Yeah, exactly.
I think
Like-
that's what it's supposed to be.
Okay,
When you're
all
amongst
right.
friends, I think you should and need to talk about
I'm
those kind of
following
things.
now.
Yeah, well, like we're like there's like the our company Christmas party coming up a little bit. That's probably
Yeah.
a place you wouldn't talk about that
Yeah.
stuff. You don't want to cause a scene,
Right.
I mean,
Or
I
do you?
would.
No, you would.
Yeah, he would.